Today I want to cover some of the highlights from Power BI's August 2020 update, including new features for business users like rectangular lasso and perspectives, as well as some BI developer features like the ability to extract data from text using algorithms. All of that and more, so without further ado, let's get started. Hi guys, my name is Fernan and welcome to the Solutions Abroad YouTube channel where I focus teaching beginners the wonderful world that is Power BI. I upload new videos every week, so make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as the bell icon to get notified when a new one is out. So last week, Power BI released a blog post outlining the new features that they released in Power BI Desktop for the month of August. I've linked the full blog post in the description box below if you want to check it out. Now, as usual, there are tons of new updates and features that some of them I don't even fully understand. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to highlight my top 5 features for this update, specifically those ones that I think would have helped me in my previous deployments, as well as some new ones that I have in the future. The first feature I want to talk about is the rectangular lasso select. This feature, as the name suggests, allows you to select multiple data points from your graphs. So if you want to multi-select your data quickly in order to filter out the other visuals in your report page, this will be a really handy way to make your life so much easier. In my previous video on Power BI's July 2020 update, I talked about a custom visual called ArcGIS. I talked about how this custom visual filled a feature gap that the default maps in Power BI don't really do, which is the ability to select multiple points in a map. If you've used ArcGIS before and utilized its rectangular lasso select feature, it pretty much works the same way with this new update. To use it, you need to first enable it from the settings. This is because this feature is a preview update for now. Once you've enabled it, you need to hold Control and select the data points that you want from your visual. To preserve your previous selections, you can hold Shift and drag. Now, there are some limitations that you need to bear in mind if you want to use this feature. The first limitation is that you can only use this feature on certain types of charts, so scatter, line, and area charts. The second thing to bear in mind is that it has a limit of 300 data points. So if you have a visual that has more than 300 data points, it's probably best to keep this feature disabled. The third is that if you're using the report online, you're gonna need to republish your report from the Power BI desktop into Power BI service. This is because it's a preview feature for now, so that means you're gonna need to enable this first on your Power BI desktop file and republish it so that you can use it on the Power BI service. The second feature is more on the new updates that came on the ArcGIS custom visual, which adds a bunch of new tools to the already extensive tool set that this visual provides. This includes things like the updated interface, which lets you access your data analysis tools in one place, updates on the smart mapping functionality, which automatically analyzes the data for you, new formatting tools to customize your maps even further, and an improved GeoSearch feature, which lets your users pinpoint specific locations in a map quite easily. I personally love using ArcGIS specifically for reports that need to show data points in a map. I actually used it extensively in one of my previous Power BI reports where I tried to find the safest boroughs in London. If you haven't seen that one, check that one out. I just wish that this visual supported embed mode, otherwise it would be perfect. The third highlight for me is the ability to manage AppSource visuals from the admin portal. This means that you can control what visuals your users are allowed to use in their organizational accounts. With this update, you can also set up any visual to show up automatically as default for your organization. This highlight is more towards Power BI admins. Microsoft seems to be releasing more ways for you to control your Power BI workspaces. Like this update that they released recently, which lets you block users from creating any new classic workspaces, which is a handy way to manage your Power BI workspaces. The fourth highlight is the ability to extract data from text and CSV files using examples. Previously, this feature was only available from the web connector, as far as I'm concerned anyway. And I used this in one of my example videos where I demonstrate how you can extract data from examples from social media websites like Instagram or Twitter. Basically, it uses an algorithm to guess what type of data you're trying to extract from your source based on the data that you input in it. Now, this feature is now available on CSV and text connections as well. So if you have any unstructured data source, You can use this feature to make your lives easier. The fifth and final highlight for me is the ability to add perspectives to the personalized visual feature. Last May, Power BI announced a new feature called personalized visuals. This lets your users customize certain small elements from a visual without having to go back to a report developer to recreate the report and republish it again. Users can change things like the type of chart it's using, X and Y axis, legends, and they can bookmark these changes without affecting the report itself. This feature is a pretty good way to give power to your users, especially when it comes to small minor changes. However, one problem that it had was that if you had a really large data set, you weren't able to control the fields that were being shown. So this would create a huge list that can overwhelm any user. Now with this new perspective feature, you're able to create a subset of fields that your users can select from, as opposed to seeing all the fields. Think of it as views if you've used SQL before. As this is a preview feature, you'll have to enable it from the Power BI desktop settings. To create perspectives, you'll have to install an external tool called Tabular Editor. If you're not using this yet for your development process, I highly suggest that you learn a little bit about how to use it. Trust me, it will save you a lot of time in the development process. Now from the Tabular Editor, it will let you create new perspectives by adding fields into it and saving them. Once your perspective is set up, you can apply this to your visuals from the format pane. This makes sure that the personalized visuals feature will only show the subset of fields that you selected in your perspective. And those were my top 5 highlights from this month's Power BI update. So what did you think? Did you find any features that you'll be using from now on? Let me know in the comment section below. Ruth from Curbal also made a roundup video which covers a few more topics that I missed. So if you're looking for a different perspective on this month's update, go check her video out. Give this video a like if it helped you. It's the best way to let me know that you enjoyed this type of content. Get in touch using the social media links that I included in the description box below. And thank you so much for watching this video. See you guys again on the next one.